there is a part of me that wonders if it really was Harry Potter, this would make it easier, because if the baddie was actually in the room, his scar would be hurting, and then we would know it was real. So
Fair.
I feel like I need a tell, Corrie. Hello and welcome back to Why Won't You Watch Corrie, the podcast where I, Emily, try and increasingly succeed in convincing my sister Vic to watch Coronation Street.
Let's not get too carried away.
I'm Emily and I am fully invested.
And I'm Vic and I'm still not watching.
But before we get into it, we need to address the Corrie Conversion Scale.
Do we?
Yes, because last week we reached a 2. We are officially in uncharted territory. And this week, the question is, will it go up?
It seems unlikely.
Okay, well, we'll circle back to that later. Because this week on Corrie...
Hang on, let me guess. Chaotic, dramatic, slightly ridiculous?
And let's not forget, still very, very funny.
An important detail.
And some exciting news this week, Vic.
Oh, here we go.
This weekend, Legacy Lauren will be joining us in person.
That feels significant.
Yes, which means who on the Cobbles is getting an upgrade.
Oh, now I'm nervous.
Yeah, and you should be, because we'll be doing a full Bewitched-style transition mid-podcast.
I'm sorry, Bewitched the TV show or Bewitched the band?
Great question. Honestly, I actually haven't decided yet.
Oh no, so it could just cut to you doing an Irish jig.
That is currently option A, yes.
Now that possibly would make me go up in the conversion scale.
Brilliant! So, Vic.
Yes?
Are you ready?
No.
Let's get into it this week on Corrie. All right, Vic. We've got to get into it this week on Corrie. This has been a big week.
Oh, God.
Big week. I just hit the wall. I was so excited. Big week. We are covering 9 stories this week, Vic.
Sorry.
What? 9. Which feels ambitious for this brand new roving Corrie reporter in the corner here.
Yes. Yes, it does.
But I'll be honest, I have never let a lack of experience stop me from doing something. So here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Also, before we get into it, I want to make a little side note. There was a lot of music this week in Corrie, a lot of new music as well. So there was Annie Lennox was in it, who isn't obviously new. Alicia Keys, obviously not that new.
No.
But they also had Harry Styles' new song in it.
Okay.
So I feel like it must be coming towards the end of a series or the end of their budgeting period and they had more money to spend.
It's just the end of the financial year and they're like,
actually... Yeah, that would have been exactly what it was. End of the financial year, and they thought, we've got money to burn. Let's get Harry Styles in the background.
Let's do it.
That's what they did. It was honestly.
I mean, if Harry Styles was in the background, in the Rovers having a pint, he might get me to watch too.
Okay, cool. So either me or Harry Styles.
Yeah, no pressure, Em.
Varying scales there of ability. Corrie has more chance of getting me in. I will throw this out there again. Corrie, I am available to be an extra in the Rovers if you need me. I have a storyline plotted out. I will come to you in due course with that. But for now, let me stop rambling and I'll fill you in with some stories this week.
Yeah, what happened?
So we're gonna start with storyline 1 of the week. Storyline 1 is Debbie. So Debbie, you know previously as Prison Lady.
Is she the one who has like dementia or had a stroke or something?
Correct, both actually.
Okay,
she had a TIA, which is a dementia-induced stroke. Yes, she is indeed that person. So Debbie is out of prison. Debbie was in prison for causing a car crash in Corriedale. Okay. Now, what we may or may not know about this, what I may have told you, is she didn't actually cause the car crash. It was her son, Carl, Big Bag Boldy, that caused the crash. When the crash happened, she was unconscious. Big Bad Boldy pulled her into the driver's seat. She knew it wasn't her. She knew it was Big Bad Boldy, but she took the rap because she felt guilty because it was her son or whatever.
Fine.
So she's done her stint. She's now out. So the opening scene of the week, she's sat on a swing listening to Annie Lennox. Well, we're listening to Annie Lennox. I don't think she's listening to anything. And she's swinging, going, hello world, kind of thing. Carl finds her. They have a chat. Beginning of the week, Big Bad Baldy asked her for 10 grand because he's got into some debt. He owes someone some money. He needs 10 grand. And she obviously still feels guilty about the fact she basically gave him away as a kid. So that's why she feels so guilty about everything with him. So she says yes, she'll give it to him. As we go through the week, the person he owes the money to is Debbie's now husband's ex-wife. Do not ask me why that link is there. I can't tell you, but that is who is owed the money.
Okay.
Debbie's current husband, Ronnie, calls his ex-wife and is like, how come he owes you 10k? And she's like, he doesn't. He owes me 5. So, yeah. So Ronnie tells Debbie this news and she then loses her shit and is like, you're taking advantage of me. Get away from me, kind of thing. You're not getting anything more from me. So then through the week, what we actually see then is Big Bad Baldy just playing Mr. Lovely Son, always being there for her, always being delightfully charming. And honestly, if you hadn't watched any of Corrie if you didn't know any of that and you were watching it as a viewer, I was like, oh, he's changed his ways. And then I was like, no, he hasn't.
No.
I've been manipulated by Big Bad Baldy this week. I've been gaslit by him, by his behaviours. So he's being charming. Ronnie, the husband, and Debbie's brother, they are there's lots of chats through the weeks where they're talking about how evil Big Bad Baldy is. One thing that happens this week that's key to the Corrie 5 storyline, because as we know, Big Bad Baldy is one of the potential murderers.
Yep.
There is a girl called Summer. Summer is the daughter, or Summer is a relation of some description to Billy, who died in the big accident that was supposedly caused by Debbie but wasn't. Okay?
Right.
So Summer has spent a lot of time just being really angry at Debbie, understandably, because she thinks she's responsible for this death.
Yeah.
Well, she finds out this week that Debbie was not responsible. It was Big Bad Baldy.
Oh.
So there isn't necessarily a lot that happens with that in a sense. Like, she's just aware. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of scenes where Debbie is... So this is happening... Okay, let's imagine 2 streams. One stream is them discovering about Big Bad Baldy, and you've got the Summer storyline, and that's happening. The other stream, we're seeing Debbie's dementia getting worse. So there's a lot of unhinged moments happening with Debbie this week. But there's also this thing. And now at some point, the streams intertwine. And I will go back to the unhinged Debbie, but I need to continue this. So at one point... Summer confronts Debbie and is like, was it you that was driving or was it someone else? Was it you? Blah, 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 blah. Debbie is overwhelmed and stressed and can't cope. So she turns around. They're in a restaurant. Debbie owns a hotel. They're in the hotel restaurant.
Right.
Someone is behind her with hot plates. It's Ryan, but that's not important to the story. With hot plates. She grabs the hot plates off of him and goes, I'll take them, to distract from Summer.
Yep.
And then doesn't let go of them and just holds them for ages until eventually she lets go of them and she burns all her hands.
Ooh.
So that's... And then the big question is how come she didn't drop them earlier? Because her dementia's kicking in and didn't let her stop dropping them. They rushed her to the hospital, so for the rest of the week, Debbie's wearing these big bandages on her hands. Yeah. I think with the level of her dementia at this point in time, she probably shouldn't be working. Probably and not. Also, she only got out of prison this week. So...
It's dedication.
Yeah, maybe maybe it is dedication. Also, side note, this whole her getting out of prison thing was quite confusing because last week we saw her in prison. This week we saw her out of prison. There was no real in between besides a very tiny mention of her appeal hearing. So that was confusing. There was quite a lot of confusing storylines as we go through the week. I'll fill you in as we go.
Excellent.
So that's what happened with Summer and Debbie. But then there's also the fact that Debbie is struggling with her dementia. She has a brain scan and it's shown that it's got worse. There's one scene where she's helping out and I couldn't work out if it was her dementia or if she was drunk, and Corrie didn't explain this clearly to me. So I don't want to make fun of it in case it was dementia, but if it was drunk, like, it was really bizarre. Like at one scene, she's just seen looking at her hands in confusion, and then she grabs a drink and downs it. Then she gives away a bottle of champagne, which I was like, I need to go and hang out in that restaurant. Yeah. Then she starts talking about how she likes a dirty limerick, which don't we all?
I mean, yeah.
Always a bit of fun.
It's always fun.
Then she starts talking to one of the guests and referring to them as, I know you're a good time girl, I know you're a good time girl. And I was just watching it like, I don't know whether I need to feel sorry for you or whether I'm laughing along with you because you're drunk. I couldn't work it out, but it was completely unhinged. That's all I can say on the matter. We're moving on to the bros. So the bros, which is Steve and the landlord of the pub, we discovered last week, and obviously this includes the mother-in-law. This also includes grandson and Amy. Amy is Steve's daughter.
Right.
This also includes Will, the child that's being groomed.
Yep.
This also includes Eva, who's the landlord's wife.
Okay.
So there is a lot of characters in this storyline.
Yep.
But we found out at the end of last week that the bros are actual bros. Because they share a dad.
Yeah.
Yes. Or maybe we didn't find out at the end of last week. We did. We found out at the end of last week. And this week, basically, the mother-in-law is claiming she doesn't know who the father is, just that he had a different dad.
Wonderful.
Until she's in the pub and Steve walks in, who's got the same dad, and says how their grandson is out on a date with his daughter, so cousins, basically. So then mother-in-law panics and goes storming around Steve McDonald's house, where the grandson and Amy are sat on the couch making out. Only making out, but still,
Thankfully.
You don't want to be snogging your cousin.
No.
No. Yeah. Now, again, slightly confused by this, because the last I knew, the grandson was dating Lauren. So I don't really know why he's now back with Amy. That is not explained at all, or it was a blink and you missed it moment, because I certainly missed it. So did half of my TikTok.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's almost like, and this was someone else that said this to me, it is almost like the writers, there was a new writer this week, and they just didn't talk to the last week's writer and just kind of went, well, he's with Amy, isn't he? So I'll write this. But even he's not.
Did Corrie just forget to air an episode? Is that actually what's happening?
I mean, I don't know, because there's definitely a gap between last week and this week, but I don't know. Anyway, I digress. They then find out, obviously, they can't be snogging. It comes out between those four people. Steve, landlord, Amy, Ollie, grandson, all know that they're all related, and obviously the mother-in-law.
Yep.
And Eva knows, as well, the daughter-in-law. Which brings me back to a point from weeks ago where I said, I wonder if Corrie's done incest yet. Well, now they have. So,
tick.
Tick. Basically, this week, the landlord's just mopey all week. He's like, woe is me about not knowing about Will being groomed. Woe is me about my dad not being my dad. And actually, the mother-in-law is just being sheepish all week and just kind of walking into rooms like, you all right? Kind of thing. Eva is brilliant this week. She is acting like a rational, supportive, reasonable, calm human being, and will literally just like the landlord will be like, I can't believe my dad wasn't my dad, because he's Irish, and she's like, but he was, like, just because he wasn't related to you doesn't mean like, just because he wasn't biological, and everything, she's got like a reasonable answer. So I'm loving Eva this week. She's been very good. Will finds out halfway through the week when Amy approaches him and goes, "You're right, cuz," and he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he basically then goes storming in to the Rovers and is like, "I can't believe you didn't tell me that my nan had sex with a different man like years ago or something." And that's how he says it. And the landlord goes, "Watch your tongue." I was like, all he said was that his nan had sex with someone. Like, come on.
We all knew that. Otherwise, none of them would be here.
Exactly. As our nan used to say, you youngsters think you invented it.
We did.
Sex, not it. Yeah. Tim and the landlord. So Tim is Steve's best mate. They have a little bit of a heart-to-heart. So that was nice. The bartender finds out and tells... Oh, so there's a bit of one of the side characters. He is a regular Corrie character, and I know he is because I have seen him in the peripherals of my life over time. He's like a bartender. I don't know I think his real name might be Ant Cotton. I'm not sure, or that's his Corrie name. I don't know. But he's had more visibility this week, and I've been loving it. He's like really camp and really funny, and I've just loved it. But he basically found out what was going on with the landlord and the family, and he sneakily told the two other bartenders who were on shift, one being Lauren, one being Bernie's daughter.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Don't tell anyone." The second that the landlord comes out, or the grandson comes out, Lauren just turns around and goes, "I hear that Amy's your cousin." Tells us straight away, and he's like, "Dad, I told you not to tell." So that was quite funny. And that's basically it for that storyline. So it's kind of out there, bit of moping around, bit of storming in and out of rooms. I still can't quite see why the mother-in-law would be killed. There's no reason. I'm still enjoying her as a character. She's still making me laugh. She's not up there as a victim.
I was going to say, it seems a bit extreme if she dies over having a bit of fun in her youth. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Don't murder somebody for that.
Storyline 3 of the week. We are moving on to Harry Potter. Harry Potter is struggling this week. This storyline is all kinds of confusing, and let me tell you why. So Harry Potter is struggling after, obviously, he outed Will and Meghan, and Will and Meghan were quite mean to him for some time when he was trying to cover up the story. They were trying to cover up their story. But he keeps seeing Will and Meghan through the street.
Okay.
So at one point, at the beginning of the week, he gets a threatening phone call from Will via his stepmom's mobile, which was weird. Right. Then another point, he's walking down the street with fish and chips, and he gets chased by Will.
Oh.
Another scene, he's in the shop, Roy's Rolls, and Will stood there staring at him. And that's at one point he sees Will and Meghan in the park, and he tells the parents, they go there and he's not there. Okay. Now, I think what we're being led to believe, is that he's paranoid and is seeing this stuff and making it up. I think that's what's happening here. Which will make sense, because we're also seeing Will on the flip side of it being like, this guy's a weirdo, I don't know why he keeps saying these things, like, I don't understand, kind of thing. There's a part of my brain, and there's not really been much that's given me anything to think to prove this, but I'm wondering whether actually he's not being paranoid, this is happening, and they're playing tricks on him, because he is the only witness to Meghan and Will's affair. So if they can discredit him as a witness, then no one's going to believe him and then they can kind of continue along their merry way. Makes sense. I did wonder whether maybe that was a thing, or my other thing is that actually he is suffering and is paranoid and is struggling to deal with it all, and I wonder whether he might accidentally push Meghan down the stairs because he'll think it's a hallucination, and he might be responsible for killing her. So I've got two theories on the go with this storyline.
They sound good.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm so confused by whether he is seeing it or whether whether it's real or whether it's not. There is a part of me that wonders if it really was Harry Potter, this would make it easier, because if the baddie was actually in the room, his scar would be hurting, and then we would know it was real. So
fair.
I feel like I need a tell, Corrie. I need you to give me some more information here. There's no point asking them. We know the next scenes have already been filmed, but hey-ho. The other thing that I would like to add on this storyline, talking about Corrie and this podcast, there was a scene on Thursday where Will is talking about Harry Potter, and he says he calls him a Harry Potter reject. He is talking about Will, and he goes, he's just a Harry Potter reject. And I was literally like, oh my God, have they seen the podcast?
Clearly.
Is that where this is coming from? Clearly.
The only logical explanation right there.
Okay, storyline 4 is Swarla and Sister. Okay? Yep. We have some big news in the Swarla household. Obviously, they're getting married in 2 weeks' time. This week, Lisa's divorce finally came through. Yay!
Hang on. She wasn't divorced? How were they planning on getting married?
I don't actually know, to be honest. Maybe they were just going to do the ceremony and hope for the best. Maybe they just were really optimistic that it would come through in time. Doesn't matter, Vic, because it has come through in time, and she is now divorced from her dead, alive wife. Woo!
Wonderful.
It is the invites have also gone out this week. They had glitter in them.
It's about bloody time.
Which we didn't see on screen. We just heard. Oh, I know. There is a scene when their divorce comes through, and they decide to go to Roy's Rolls to have a big breakfast to celebrate, and they go, and we've got a few more things to finalise with the wedding. I'm like, what have you got to finalise? It's 2 weeks away. This should be planned. You should be sitting pretty. Like,
That's my plan.
Honestly, I'm like so stressed. Now, in all fairness, I've never planned a wedding, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does. You do plan it all the way up to the day, but I just don't believe that to be true. I feel like by now they should be fully planned. But each to their own. The Corrie timeline is something wild, which I've discovered this week.
That's true.
Now, the reason the sister is involved in this storyline. So, I've mentioned before that the sister was babysitting baby Connie.
Yep.
Looking after baby Connie. So, she's there looking after Connie when Lisa comes home from work. She's been on a night shift. And Lisa is just a little bit rude to her. Completely unnecessarily so. I will defend the sister on that. So, when they go to Roy's Rolls, the sister stays to look after the baby. The sister steals Lisa's police badge. Like the official one with the card and the proper one.
That's not ideal.
So, I know. So that happens. Now, Lisa does come back, which I found interesting. Lisa comes back and apologises. And the sister kind of pulls this face that makes me think that she did feel a bit bad for stealing it when she apologised. So I wonder if the sister only has her bad behaviour when someone's pissed her off. I don't really know how that works. But anyway, so that happened. We don't know anything more on that. We'll find out next week, I'm sure. Okay. Storyline 5 is Bernie, Mel, and Sister. So Sister is intertwining in a few stories today.
Around.
She's getting around. She doesn't have her own big story. She's in a few, weaving in and out. So Bernie and the sister both work together at Roy's Rolls. They have a shift together. The sister is on her phone the entire time. Bernie gets really annoyed, keeps yelling at her and picking at her through the shift. Then Bernie leaves her shift a bit early because she wants to.
Why not?
And that is the point where the sister tells Bernie's daughter that she has been leaving loads of bad reviews on Mel's an electrician.
Okay.
So she's been leaving him loads of really bad reviews as revenge for Bernie. Which then made me wonder whether she was the reason why the Undertaker got all his bad reviews.
Oh, maybe.
Or the Corrie writers just have an obsession with TripAdvisor. I'm not sure which it is.
Who knows?
It just seems like too much of a coincidence. If you ask me, I'm saying the sister is doing bad reviews on everyone in the street. Yeah. So she says that. Later down the week, Roy comes down, who owns Roy's Rolls, and says that Mel is leaving. Mel had done his electrics.
Yeah.
And Mel's going back to Inverness. So Bernie and everyone's like, yay, finally he's leaving. This is great news. Mm-hmm. Now, the next bits of information I'm going to tell you will probably not seem important. Roy and Nina, who's an employee at Roy's Rolls, are going on a bat spotting trip. Okay?
Okay.
And as they're going, Roy coughs and says, I think I just might be coming down with something, but I'm fine. We're going to park that. I think that will be relevant next week.
Okay.
That sentence. But then as they're driving off, we see Mel stood around the corner staring at Bernie. So he obviously has not gone to Inverness. He's still very much
Of course he is.
on the cobbles. Yeah. Really little one with Sister. So Sister and David are intertwined in the weeks. David Platt, they obviously are in the same universe anyway.
Yeah.
They just keep playing. It makes you laugh every time I refer to it as universes, doesn't it?
Does. It's not a universe.
Is it because it's like the Avengers?
No, it's not like the Avengers.
It's the Thor universe. It's not. It's just like it. So funnily enough, Sister and David were watching the Avengers this week, so that was part of their storyline. They play some pranks on Lisa and Carla. They swap their bins over, just little tiny things.
Sorry.
Mentioning it might come back up.
Okay, cool.
Well, Yeah. Next little, Tim, Sally and Trisha. So Tim is one of the bros. With last week, I don't know if I said, but he remembered, like, he was basically groomed when he was a kid and he now wants to have it out with his groomer. That was scattered. That storyline was scattered through the week. It was scattered. The Undertaker is having to, next storyline. Yep. The Undertaker is having to sell his business because of the court case and he's now got no money.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
Where
that
are
is
people
sad,
on the
isn't
Cobbles
it?
going to go when they die?
Exactly. It also, again, Corrie timeline seems very rushed. I don't really know. I'm sure there'll be more to this, like an appeal. There's probably some insurance that covers some of this as well. But hey ho, who am I to talk? Never been an Undertaker, so I can't comment.
Never owned a business, so really can't comment.
Never. And then the final storyline of the week, which actually is a bit longer. Final storyline of the week, we are back with T&T, Todd and Theo. Theo bad, Todd good. So they're very end of the week. So basically Sarah Platt goes to see Todd. And he sneaks her into the house. He's now at the point where he's very nervous and doesn't want to be, like, stands in front of the camera on his Ring doorbell, sneaks her in. And they have a coffee, and they have a brew, which is very lovely, and they, like, chat, and it's all fine until Sarah makes a little comment, which Todd gets his back up about, but it's fine, because just as he's getting his back up, he can hear Theo coming in. So he says to Sarah, you have to hide. Yeah. So she's like, what? And he's like, no, you have to hide. So she goes and hides in the bedroom. But he didn't think to hide the second cup that was out. So Theo obviously sees the second cup and is like, come out, wherever you are. And she comes out. She stays. They have a coffee together. Theo tries to play the lovely, I don't know what the problem is. Like, why, you guys are friends. I don't want to ruin that.
Lies.
When she leaves, Theo gets up in Todd's face and is just, like, having a go at him. Todd says, what are you going to do? Theo says, nothing yet. Ooh. So is threatening him. Then the witness from the wedding, who works with Theo, is having it out with him a little bit and throwing his stuff away. And the witness has an epiphany moment that Sarah should contact Theo's ex-wife and find out if she was abused. Yeah. And so she does, and she meets her for a coffee, and the ex-wife is very frustrated and very annoyed that they've reached out and is like, what you do? Like, why are you calling me? No. But the real problem is T&T walk in. Sarah is talking to her in the public. Why? I would have gone to a restaurant away from the Cobbles, go into Manchester, go around each other's houses, bump into her in the street. Why go to one of the 3 restaurants in Weatherfield? Like, are you joking?
There's nowhere else to go, Em. Where else would they go?
Oh, madness. Or have a phone call.
That's no fun.
Yeah, so they walk in. Theo's fuming. He then obviously speaks to his Belfast people, and that Belfast move has now been brought forward. So they're moving away quicker. And Vic, I'm really impressed with how quickly I've managed to do that.
That was impressive, actually, to be fair. I thought this was going to go on for a lot longer. Excellent.
Okay, Vic, and that is what's happening on Corrie this week. We are moving on to our Coronation Street Stats Report. This is the part of the show where I like to talk numbers because I love a number. I love a fact. I love a graph. I love a pie chart. I love all things mathematically related.
All right,
here we go.
Nerd.
Nerds change the world. Who runs the world? Nerds.
Yeah, right. Sure.
I'm sticking by that. Anyway, Coronation Street Stats Report. Okay, villain energy of the week. We have 3 counts of villain energy of the week. Okay. Suspicious activity, we have 2. These seem low because there was a lot that happened this week, but actually no one was massively suspicious and no one was massively villainous. Like, their storylines all continued. I would say this was a bit of a filler week. We progressed everyone's storylines, but there was nothing in it that was that shocking. That being said, gasps were at a 4. So not quite the level of last week, but still quite high. We had one instance of me yelling at the TV, going, "What are you doing?" Meaningful stares was just a 2 because they had so much to get through. There wasn't time to just stop and stare.
Yeah.
There was lots of chatting.
I mean, generally in life, people don't stop and stare all that often. So
maybe we should do it more often. Vic.
I don't think we should.
Arguments was a 6. Arguments and storm outs, we had 6 of those, which again seems relatively low considering there were 6 episodes this week.
Okay.
There were 6 episodes this week, by the way.
Fine.
Should let you know that. Public conversations that should have happened at home was a 9. That was at an all-time high.
I mean, that tracks
this week.
with the week you've just explained. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Laughs, we had 18, which matched with last week, and last week we only had 5 episodes.
Interesting.
So it definitely wasn't as funny a week as last week, but it was still very good fun.
I feel
Lots of music.
They're ramping up to, obviously, a high drama storyline. I would expect to see the villain energy and the suspicious activity to increase.
I mean, the sister
laughs
is
to go
still
down,
suspicious.
but-
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
The sister is still suspicious because we don't really know what's going on with her. She's like just a layer
Sounds
of
like she doesn't know what's going on with her.
Honestly, issues. We got two stats tallies left. One is a new tally.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, Vic, we have yet to have the Don't Be Daft.
Yeah.
Don't Be Daft was 0 this week.
Oh,
I know.
the whole
meaningful...
reason you started this podcast was for this one line.
True. And I think we need to take a minute and have a meaningful stare and think about the end of the Don't Be Daft tally. But what is the new tally this week, Vic? It's a new one which I think is just excellent, which is a missed opportunity for a Don't Be Daft. And there were 2 of those this week.
Only 2, and this is your own tally.
Well, because when it got... I know, but because, Vic, I didn't realise... Like, we got to Thursday's episode before I was like, there's not going to be a Don't Be Daft. There is not going to be a Don't Be Daft. So it was Friday's episode where I had 2 opportunities for a missed opportunity for a Don't Be Daft. And one of them, there was even a pause for thought. I think he was actually meant to say it, but the actor just went, nah, not doing it.
None of that today.
None of that.
Maybe
We're not being daft here.
They know you want to hear it, so they're like, nah, cut that out.
Yeah, they think it's a rubbish segment. Well, tell you, I will come up with another one. If we don't Be Daft, we'll have something else. And that, Vic, is our Corrie stats report.
Excellent.
Okay, Vic, we're moving on to the awards of the week. This week,
I need an award
villain...
just to hold it up.
I thought because you were drinking kombucha. I was like, you want an award because you're being healthy?
No.
You've got good gut health? Well done.
No. No. I just want an award to be like, thank you.
I will make an award, Vic, and I will send it to you.
Oh, thanks.
So, villain of the week. We have to be honest, there was no one who was truly villainous. Mm-hmm. There was villain behaviour, but there was no one who I walked away and just went, wow, villain. So, but I've gone with Carl or Theo. Carl, as I said, he gaslit me this week at Big Bad Boldy. He gaslit me because I was like, he's changed his ways. He's good. Yeah. So that's quite villainous in itself. He was so good at being a villain, I didn't notice. Theo was very much out there being a villain, threatening to beat up Todd. Now, he has won it the last 2 weeks in a row. Are we going to go for a hat trick with Theo, or should we give someone else a chance? That is the question.
I think let's give somebody else a chance. We need to start. Big Bad Boldy needs to, sort his crap out. So.
Well, and that's the thing. We've not had Big Bad Boldy in it for a few weeks now. And if he is going to die, he needs to step up that. I forgot something that happened this week.
Oh, my God. Okay. What?
And it was big. Okay, I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah.
But so Big Bad Boldy and Theo had an interaction in the street, right?
Yeah.
So the person who died in the crash, yes, they were stuck in a van before it exploded.
Right.
But they were still alive.
Oh.
Theo went in to go and save him, but Theo didn't because he was jealous of him because he was Todd's mate. So Theo actually is the reason why that person died.
Oh.
I mean, you could argue it was a combination of the two, but Theo. Big Bad Baldy knows this information. I do not know how, what, where, when, or why, but he knows that information. So that happened this week. That was information that I didn't know, but I feel like viewers probably did know.
Yeah.
So, yes, there we go. That's that. Anyway, I digress. Big Bad Baldy, villain of the week.
Yeah.
Cool. Most valued player, MVP. There's a choice of two, Ronnie and Eva. Now, Ronnie I didn't talk about enough, but he was, because I didn't think I'd have time.
Yep.
But he was really good with Debbie this week and her dementia. And he was really, like, had her back and obviously caught Big Bad Baldy out on his scam and just was a really good supportive husband. And Eva was just really rational and
Always good.
the opposite of unhinged, hinged. So she was just very. But in every scene, she just brought the rationale thought, and she's dealing with a lot because obviously her husband is dealing with a lot. So MVP is going to Eva this week.
That makes sense.
MVP.
I would have done the same.
Yeah. I am calling the Out of Context Award or the No Context Award.
Wonderful.
And this is where I've just got some random lines from a script that mean nothing to anyone, including probably the actors who said them.
Cool.
So one was Mary Taylor, who said, I went through an obsessive fish finger stage when I was a child. My mother used to call me Captain Birdseye. And from what I could gather, she said that for no real reason.
Okay.
So there's that. Number two, the radio was on in someone's car and it said, name an animal that lays eggs. And a contestant said, a horse. And then Sally, who was listening to the radio, said, this country is doomed. And that was like a 30-second...
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. But I was just like, there was absolutely no point to that entire scene.
No.
So that's number two. And number three... Debbie walked over to a table of guests and said, can I sit down for a minute? I'm sweating like a glass blower's bottom. I mean, there was obviously a reason for that when she was hot and wanted to sit down, but also no real reason for saying it like that. So those are my 3 out of context / no context awards.
Yeah.
What would you select, Vic? You get to pick the winner.
I quite liked Sally and the radio. That made me laugh.
The horse that lays eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Sally wins this award, the horse that lays eggs. And that is our Coronation Street Awards. And Vic, we are moving on to Last Orders. Last Orders is the part of the show where I pick someone from the Cobbles that week and decide whether I would go for a drink with them. Because that's how I like to choose all my friends in life is, would I go for a drink with you?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair.
I think it's a great way of doing it.
I agree. And this week, Vic, we have none other than Debbie Webster. The Debster.
Oh, God.
So from what I've told you thus far, do you have any opinions on Debbie?
She seems like a great gal.
A good time gal?
Good time gal. She seems like, if you went for a drink with her, though, I would be a bit concerned at what she was going to do. Like, is she just gonna? Is she gonna? I don't know. What's that dementia gonna make her do?
Yeah,
It's gonna be a wild ride.
This week was bizarre.
Yeah,
It really was. I've said she seems fun, friendly, light-hearted.
yeah,
I've said she's trying to enjoy the time she has left. I said I think she would say exactly what's on her mind, whether that's good or bad. I think you'd know where you stood with her, if I'm being completely honest. There is a risk of Big Bad Baldy showing up.
yeah.
Or an episode, a dementia episode. So there is a risk of those. But generally I think she'd be good fun and a laugh.
Yeah.
I think that would be... Because she's not, even though she's stressed and she's, like, got her illness, she's not letting that bother her. She's
good.
just like, no, we're going to have fun, like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I loved that she was on the swing at the beginning because we've all got to tap into our inner child.
True.
So, loved that.
She was probably having a dementia episode. Thought she was a child.
I'm fine with that.
It's all good.
The problem is, if that was true, there'd be me going, yay, let's play on the swings, and then someone be like, no, she's having a moment, you're just a child.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Oh, man.
Yes, small talk ability. I have given her a 5.
Yeah, I agree. I
I've
think it'd
given
be
her a
quite
5
high.
out of 5.
She's got some
Yeah.
stories, man. She's been in prison. She's got dementia.
Exactly.
She's going to be remembering everything.
And I think she'll want to be talking about it all as well. I do. I think, and obviously she owns the hotel. So when you work in hospo, you got to be able to chat. Drama risk.
Drama. Could be high, depending on if Big Bad Boldy appears, or just her mental state at the time.
Yeah. I've gone for a 4 because we don't know if Big Bad Boldy is going to show up. We don't know if she's going to have a dementia moment.
Yeah.
We don't know. We can't call it. So that's that. Gossip value?
I feel like she would know quite a bit from the hotel. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. I've gone 4 out of 5 for that as well. She's got top scores. Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
She's doing well.
Overall vibe check.
I mean, from what I've heard, she sounds fantastic. So, yeah, it's going to be good.
I'm giving her a 5 because even if she behaved like she behaved on Tuesday, if we were out on a social, I don't think I'd mind. No. I'd just find it funny, and I'd be like, "Cool, this is great," kind of thing.
Like,
I'd just go with the flow. But I wouldn't like it if I was working with her. But
slightly more annoying. But
yeah, do we need an exit plan?
No, I feel like she is the exit plan. I think she'll go when she's ready.
She is the exit plan. I put maybe if Big Bad Boldy shows up, we might need an exit plan, but maybe not. And then second pint probability, I have said abso-freaking-lutely yes. I will be staying for a second pint with Debbie. Yeah, I feel like that'll be fun.
I agree. Good scores all around there.
Yeah, there we go. And Vic, that is last orders. And now, Vic.
Yes.
It is time for the transition of the century, the transition of the podcast. Wiggle those noses, wiggle those toes. Let's do this Bewitched style. Here we are with Legacy Lauren. Hi and welcome to Who on the Cobbles with Legacy Lauren, who is in the room with us today. And just like we said the other day, this was a Bewitched style transition. 1 minute she's here. Yeah, Friday. Like we said in the segment that you listened to 2 minutes ago, but we recorded the other day. This is a Bewitched style transition where 1 minute she's here, 1 minute she's not, and the whole set around us has completely changed. And we're jumping straight into Who's Who on the Cobbles. If you've listened before, you will know Who's on the Cobbles is the part of the show where Lauren will share with us some Corrie facts whilst Vic and I have to try and work them out. You ready to play? Yeah, you ready to play?
I'm ready.
I'm ready to play. Let's play Who on the Cobbles.
Okay, so Who on the Cobbles this week? We are playing a Who on the Cobbles called Related or Relationship.
Oh, okay.
And to be fair, good luck.
It's probably both, from what I know.
It could be both. So, now, I know that you both really appreciate this character, so I've included him. It is Kirk. So, my question for you, related or relationship, Maria and Kirk.
Who's Maria?
Witness number 2.
Okay.
Theo Wedding.
Cool.
I know what I'm going to say. No, I'm going to say relationship, but that also feels bizarre to me because Kirk is not the smartest cookie on the street, but also we haven't really seen a lot of Maria.
I was going to say, my only takeaway from this is Kirk, who... What did you do?
He walked backwards.
So, I mean...
That was so funny.
It was so bizarre.
I mean, from that, I'm going to say...
Related. We're going related. We're going related.
They are related.
Yeah, are they?
Yes.
Okay.
They are brother and sister.
Hey.
Shut up.
Yes.
How?
It's walking backwards, one's friends with her.
Yeah,
Yes.
brother and sister. They both used to work at the kennels.
Okay.
And, yeah, well...
She came in as a dog
She came in
groomer.
as a dog groomer. And he, I mean, true Kirk, messing things up a little bit. There was this, like, really famous dog, and that's not pedigree dog.
Oh, yeah, we don't mean famous. Yeah. Lassie was there.
Pedigree dog, and Kirk allowed the dog to get castrated. Oh, no, and that led to the demise of that business.
Not
They-
Christ.
They have 0 scenes together.
I know, and they need way more because Kirk is hilarious.
Yeah,
I
I
just
agree.
needs more scenes at
Yeah,
this point.
he does. He does.
So there
Wow.
you go. So yeah, well done to you.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Number 2. So Gary Windass,
Yes,
who is now
with Maria.
with Maria,
Yeah.
and Izzy, who works at the factory. She's in a wheelchair.
Yes. Okay. I do know who Izzy is. I am going to say. Now, I'm going to say relationship, and the only reason I'm saying relationship is because the last one was brother and sister. So I'm just going with the laws of.
Do we know why this lady's in a wheelchair? How long she's been in a wheelchair for?
She's got a condition, I think. It's been
So it wasn't an accident.
yeah,
from
it's not
the
an
street.
accident.
Okay. I'm going with my original logic. We've just had a brother and sister. We're going with a relationship.
We'll go with a relationship.
Yeah.
We'll stick with that.
And you are right. Yes. See, you're getting so good at this. Yeah, because Vic's getting into it.
Is she well into it? She is.
So they were in a relationship. Now, just to bring up this guy again, Izzy dated Kirk first.
Really?
She dated Kirk.
I quite
God.
like Izzy. She's got some sass.
Yeah?
Like
Yeah.
she does.
And
But
she
she was-
say factory is in like the underwear factory.
Yes.
Is that-
yes?
okay,
See, you know.
So you remember the other day I told you
That's
that
weird.
you know the other day I told you about the couple that had taken the break from lunch and were having a pint in the pub, but then just didn't seem to go back to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And I said it just because I wasn't sure if that would go
Yeah.
anywhere. She was one of those people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fine. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gary also was with Sarah Platt. Just to add that little bit of
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Can't work out which one's getting around, Gary or Sarah Platt.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
There's a lot of keeping up to.
There is.
Okay, so speaking of Sarah Platt,
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Platt and Adam Barlow relationship.
Oh, but hang on, wait, because if they're related, then that's 2 big families that are combined. The Platts and the Barlows. He's the lawyer.
Okay, thank you.
And Sarah Platt is Sarah Platt.
Yeah.
But
But I think, didn't we know who Sarah Platt's mum and dad both were?
yeah. Oh, we don't really know her dad.
Was it not the guy who tried to kill the mum, Gail?
No.
No.
No? Oh.
No. Related relationship. I'm going to go because if they're related, then that means that he's also somehow related to Nick and David, surely. What do you
Maybe
reckon?
not, I don't
Should we
know.
pick it out of the hat? Pick a hand and I'll say what's in it.
Nothing's in it.
No, but I'll tell you.
That's shit. No. I want to say in a relationship.
Okay, let's go relationship. I'm down with that. Relationship.
Correct. They
Okay.
were married.
No, they were not.
They were married.
What?
Yep, Sarah Platt and Adam Barlow.
For how long?
For like a month.
Yeah, no, don't think it was that long. And
Okay.
no surprise here, she cheated on him.
Did
Not far.
she?
Was it with the other guy?
No, someone else who I know too much of a rabbit hole, but someone else.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, she does get around
She's
old
got
Sarah.
that. No wonder she got pregnant as a teen.
I mean, that could have been the first time she'd ever had
That's true. It probably was. It probably was, to
I
be
think
fair.
it was actually.
I think it was.
There we go. Okay, final one.
Yeah.
So this is another comedy character, Sean.
You sure?
He works in the Rovers.
Oh, I do. Yes, he's the fun bartender that's on
yes,
this week.
Yeah,
That
I
I-
mentioned those.
Yeah.
Who-
Is his real name Ant Cotton?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I was like calling him Ant, and I was like, I think that's his real name.
That's his real name.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Said the other day, Brew and Bants, which
Yes.
is very funny.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So Sean and Dylan. Dylan, who is dating Betsy.
Shut. No. I know this because okay, I actually do. I do know this because I've delved into a bit of the backstory because I was enjoying some Swarla scenes, so I was like, I'll just go back. They're father and son.
They are father and son.
Wait,
Yes,
what?
they
Yes.
are related.
Yes.
They're father and son.
How is
my
that?
God.
How is that the case though? Was it like a?
Well,
Was it? Was it he was trying like having sex with a woman, or was he with a man and then they decided to have a kiss together?
So
Like, how?
he had a friend called Violet,
Okay,
and they decided to
have a baby.
have a baby.
Okay. And what happened to Violet?
So she moved to London or something. She
she's like, I'm out. I'm done.
I don't want to be a mother anymore. I'll go to London.
Yeah, and do you know what? Ant is 50.
Is he? Yeah. I need to know his skincare routine. He looks
I need to see a
amazing.
picture of this guy because I have no idea who you're talking about.
I'll show you a picture of it.
But yeah, excellent character. Him and Kirk both bringing a lot of comedy to the street.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when Dylan turned up the other day, I was like, who is that?
Mhm.
And that's who he is.
Ah,
There you go.
okay.
Guys, great effort this week.
There we go. That was fun this
That
week.
was
That was
fun.
really good. I feel like we did a good job.
Yeah,
yeah.
we did a great
We did
job.
a great job. And that is Who on the Cobbles. And now we're moving into the final segment of the show, which is Cluedination Street. Cluedination Street is part of the show that we'll be doing for the next 2 more weeks whilst we try and work out who is being killed on the street. If you continue listening through the week, we have 5 bonus episodes this week where we're talking through the killers, the killies, the deads, the
people at risk of being
risk of being murdered, and we are
It's been a really long day. We
We've
apologise.
recorded a lot of stuff so far today. We're just trying to work out what is the reason why these people could be killed. But in the meantime, we're going to have a very quick prediction of who we think from this week runs the risk of being murdered. We need who, murder weapon, location. Who wants to go first?
I need a refresh of the murder weapons.
Oh, just at this point, big, whatever the hell you want.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll go first. I'm going to say after the week we have just seen, I think the most likely to die will be Theo. And I think that he is going to be killed by Big Bad Baldy. And I think that he is going to get hit over the head with a wrench by the tool, where all his tools are, where his workstation. That's my prediction
Okay.
for the week.
In that case, I will go with teacher. I know she's not been in it this week,
No, she hasn't, but that's
But-
okay.
but I know she's one of the 5.
Yes.
Teacher with. I'm sticking with my stale baguette. I like that murder
I love the stale baguette.
with the murder with the murder weapon with the stale baguette
Yeah.
in Roy's roles.
Yes.
I think I've already done Roy's
You
roles.
can do it again.
You can do it again.
It just makes the most logical sense of where you would have a stale baguette.
Yeah, it does. You are correct.
Why
Except
would you
you
have-
would not get a stale baguette in Roy's.
I mean,
Hit me up.
yeah. All right, Legacy Lauren, what's your prediction?
Well, I mean, given that this week, sister Jodie
Yes.
was really getting on Bernie's wick. I
That's
mean, she
true.
was really, really pissed off with her for not working at all.
Yes.
So actually, I'm going to join you. I think this might take place in Roy's roles, and I think it might be Bernie
Yeah. The
Who-
kills.
actually gets Jodie's phone,
Yeah.
whacks her over the head with it.
Yeah.
I like
Do
it.
some freaking work around here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, Bernie was getting really irate this week.
Yeah. She honestly, she was.
And Jodie was being extra irritating, I think.
Easily done. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my prediction based on this week's events.
Okay.
Okay.
And that is Cluedination Street.
Okay, Vic, and here we are back, just the 2 of us. Transition number 2. We're at the final part of the podcast, Vic. The best part of the podcast, in my opinion.
Okay.
The reason we are all here, what we're trying to find out is, how has this week gone for you? Where are you at on the conversion? Where are you at on the conversion scale, Vic? Have you moved up this week? Are we getting any progress? Tell me your thoughts. Go.
Well. I mean, it seems like it's been a week. Has it been an entertaining week? I don't know. It seems like it's been a high drama week. Or just a lot. It seems like quite a confusing week. There's been a lot of storylines. And sometimes that doesn't work well for me. I can't, visualize it all. I'm glad the storylines are moving on, and gearing up, getting ready for the 23rd of April.
Corrie 5. 23rd of April.
That's the right
St.
date,
George's
right?
Day.
Yep.
St. George's Day, William Shakespeare's birth and death day.
Cool. Cool. And now in the Corrie 5 day.
And now it's another one that's going to go down in history.
Maybe it will. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it will.
So yeah, it's been. I think you were right earlier. It sounds like it's been a bit of a filler week. Have I moved up? I don't think I have this week. I think I'm going to stick at 2.
Oh, okay.
But in the I think
yes, in the hope.
in the hope,
I'll take that.
in the hope
That is a win in itself.
the next 2 weeks, they got to start ramping up, and I like a bit of the drama. I like when the heavy storylines get like outed and they do it well. I enjoy that.
So when we have like 2 big storylines of the week rather than like 10 minutes, which is what we had this week.
Yeah, I feel like the minis, well, they are much needed, and a lot of information comes out. They don't hook me. They don't grab me in quite the same way.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Vic. I love Corrie. I've not
Oh, I
hidden
know.
that from anyone. But this week there was a lot going on, and I wasn't like whilst I was watching it, I was enjoying it. But then when I was trying to write what had happened to let you know, I was like, oh, sugar. There's been a lot that's happened here.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not really sure how I'm going to convey all this information.
Yeah.
And perhaps maybe I streamed it a bit too much.
I enjoyed it. It got to the points quickly.
Okay.
I enjoyed that.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Especially
Okay.
when there's that
All
many
right.
stories.
Oh, so many stories.
think
And they were all intertwined a bit as
Yeah.
well.
It was,
Which made it hard. Like the sister just seemed to float across a lot.
that's kind of what she does, is it not? From
It
what
is,
I've gathered, I don't know. But yeah.
Okay. So
So-
so this is what we're saying. We're sticking it at 2.
Sticking it at 2 this week, but I think the next
I'm
2
happy
weeks
with
we'll
it.
see some good storylines.
Okay, we're sticking with a 2, but anticipating movement. This is the most optimistic I've seen you about watching Corrie ever. So
Don't get too used
here
to
we
it.
go. And that's a wrap. That's us on Why Won't You Watch Corrie. I'm Emily,
And I'm Vic.
and we are now officially at a 2. Corrie incoming. And if you like the show, head on over to our socials and go and give us a follow. We're on TikTok, Insta, TikTok, Insta, X, or Twitter, X. And we're all on X. We're at Why Won't You Watch on all 3. Email at why won't you watch at gmail.com. Drop us a line, let us know. We want to hear your predictions over the next few weeks as to who you think is going to be dying on the 23rd of April and how it's going to happen and who's going to do it and everything that you know, and we'll shout it out on this podcast.
Yep, we will.
Anything to add, Vic?
Nope, you covered it.
Okay. And this is Why Won't You Watch Corrie?